Chosen one, money chases you now, not the other way around. You are not here by accident. You are not watching this video by coincidence. There is a timing in the universe that cannot be explained with logic, only alignment. And right now, something powerful is aligning in your favor. For too long, you've been the one chasing security, chasing freedom, chasing that next breakthrough. But things are shifting. The tide is turning. And today marks a sacred turning point in your life where you stop running after what is already on its way to you. The truth is, abundance is no longer something you beg for, strive for, or wait on. It's something that is coded into your essence. Your DNA carries the frequency of wealth, not just physical money, but a flow of prosperity, ease, and divine favor. You've been initiated into a higher understanding, a frequency where you don't operate from fear, but from alignment. And when you're aligned, money doesn't run from you. It recognizes you. It finds you. It attaches itself to you. Watch this video until the end. Let the energy settle into your being. And write your warmest wishes in the comments with the number 99. This is how we lock in the vibration. This is how we signal the universe that we're ready to receive. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. Money chasing you is not a fantasy. It's a reality for those who realize their worth is not measured by numbers, but by energy. The more you understand your value, the more the world reflects it back to you. People will begin offering opportunities before you even ask. Situations will align before you try to control them. This is the divine paradox. The moment you stop needing it is the moment it arrives. That's because wealth is magnetic to the ones who know they're already whole, the ones who carry peace even when the bank account is quiet, the ones who smile before the miracle shows up, not because they're naive, but because they are in tune with the rhythm of the cosmos. You have entered a dimension where you are no longer a beggar of blessings, but a vessel of overflow. You are no longer in survival mode. That frequency is done. You are shifting into overflow mode. Overflow of time, resources, confidence, and clarity. You will see it in subtle moments. A bill gets covered unexpectedly. An idea comes with sudden clarity. Someone brings you a connection you've been praying for. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. This is not luck. This is divine law responding to your internal upgrade. Chosen one, your vibration has become a beacon. Money has ears. It listens to frequency. And right now, yours is loud and clear. You are sending a signal of readiness, not desperation, not greed, but sacred readiness. You finally stopped forcing the door to open and realized the door was always waiting for you to walk up calmly, knowing you belonged. That's the energy of royalty. That's the energy of legacy. You no longer chase because you realize you are the prize. You don't beg because you are the blessing. You're not running after opportunities. You are the opportunity. And this shift is not arrogant. It is ancestral. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up. Fully, authentically, powerfully. You're stepping into rooms not because you were invited, but because you own your space. And when you enter with that energy, everything changes. People listen differently. Doors swing wider. The universe rushes to catch up with the version of you that finally stopped hiding. This chapter in your life is marked by divine reversal. All the energy you used to pour into grinding, chasing, and striving is now pouring into you. You're the magnet now. You're the gravitational center of your reality. And the more you sit in this power, the more effortless it all becomes. That doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop hustling from fear. Your actions are now aligned with purpose, not panic. Strategy flows easily. Ideas are rooted in clarity. You're building from overflow, not from lack. And you'll begin to notice something beautiful. People will want to give to you, not because you ask, not because you scheme, but because your presence unlocks something in them. Your frequency reminds them of abundance too. You become a mirror that shows others what's possible. You are not just attracting wealth, you are activating it in others. That's legacy work. That's spiritual leadership. Money is now your partner, not your pursuer. You are dancing with abundance, not chasing shadows. You don't stress over every cent, because you know wealth is coming in forms beyond paper. Ideas, timing, favor, influence, all of these are currencies, and you are rich in them. Every decision you make now flows from that understanding. You speak like someone who is abundant. You walk like someone who is taken care of. You rest like someone who knows provision is already written into future. Chosen one, you are no longer in survival's grip. You're in creation's flow. You are the author now, not the victim. And the money? It's not just coming. It's running toward you. It's looking for the light you finally allowed to shine through. It's showing up in strange, sudden ways because you are no longer blocking it with fear, doubt, or small thinking. You've expanded, and as you expand, so does your capacity to receive. You are shifting from effort to embodiment, from scarcity to sacredness, from waiting for permission to knowing you already carry the authority. The more you trust this truth, the more you will witness the ridiculous blessings that defy logic. That's the realm you're in now, where you don't chase, you attract, you align, you receive, you walk boldly, and the universe responds boldly. You're no longer trying to convince the world of your worth. You're living it. You're no longer chasing a future. You're embodying the now. And from this now, everything flows. You've stepped into a new reality where the effort you used to put into convincing others is now being used to command your own energy. You've stopped explaining yourself. You've stopped apologizing for dreaming big. You've stopped shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for someone of your vibration. Now the world doesn't just see you, it feels you. You are a signal of wealth, and that signal is echoing through dimensions, calling back every form of abundance with your name on it. The people around you may start to act differently. Some may become distant. Some may question your calmness, your confidence, your unbothered energy. But don't misinterpret this. It's not rejection. It's reflection. They are seeing in you what they have not yet activated in themselves. You are evidence that money is not only attracted to hard work, it's attracted to alignment, intention, and energetic clarity. And not everyone is ready for that truth, but you are. Your energy is expensive now. Your time is sacred. Your presence is priceless. You've shifted into the energy of divine compensation. That means what was once delayed is now delivered. What was once blocked is now unlocked, because you are finally open to receiving without resistance. No more guilt around getting paid well. No more hesitation in asking for what you're worth. No more stories of lack dictating your choices. You've rewritten the narrative. You no longer work to survive. You create to thrive. You don't hustle to escape pain. You build from a place of passion and clarity. Your creativity is your currency now. Your vision is your investment. And the return is inevitable because your actions are backed by belief, not fear. The universe rewards clarity, and you are radiating it. There is a rhythm to wealth that you've tuned into. You're no longer out of sync with the flow. You don't chase waves, you ride them. You've become emotionally fluent in abundance. That means you recognize it in every form. The message you needed to hear, the opportunity that seemed too good to be true, the peaceful moment that confirms you're on the right path. Abundance is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives in whispers, but now you hear it clearly because you're listening with a healed heart and a focused mind. You've stopped needing to see results immediately to believe. You understand now that belief precedes manifestation. You plant seeds with faith, not with anxiety. You don't dig up your progress every day to see if it's growing. You trust the roots. You trust the process. You trust the alignment. Money now becomes a mirror. It reflects your self-concept, your inner frequency, your expectations. And as your inner world becomes richer, your outer world must respond. That's the law. The wealthiest people are not always the hardest working. They are often the clearest thinkers, the most aligned creators, the ones who made peace with receiving. This is the shift you've made, from struggle to surrender, from force to flow, from scarcity to sovereignty. You are no longer proving, you're simply being. And that being is magnetic. You attract through presence. You manifest through stillness. You receive by knowing that you're already enough. Money no longer defines your worth. It reflects your alignment. When you walk into a room, you carry a frequency that opens doors. When you speak, you transmit clarity. When you sit still, you radiate power. That's because you're no longer trying to be seen. You see yourself. And that's what creates gravitational pull. That's what flips the dynamic. Now money is looking for you, and it comes faster than ever before, because you're no longer resisting it. You've forgiven your past. You've let go of the shame. You've dismantled the limiting beliefs that told you had to work twice as hard for half as much. You've dropped the generational patterns of lack and stepped into legacy. Now, wealth is a birthright, not a battle. You honor the money that comes, and you no longer panic when it goes. You understand the flow. You understand that abundance is not a moment. It's a mindset. And because you think rich, you live rich. That richness is in your choices, your peace, your relationships, your boundaries. Money is just the echo of that richness catching up with you in material form. You're now in the frequency of overflow. You give from fullness, not from emptiness. You invest from vision, not from desperation. You speak with conviction, not with hesitation. Your relationship with money is no longer codependent. It's conscious. You love it, you welcome it, but you are not controlled by it. And that's what makes it stay. That's what makes it grow. You've broken the cycle of need. You are now in the rhythm of receiving. And every day, you're becoming a bigger vessel for wealth because your spirit is strong enough to hold it. You are not just building wealth for yourself. You're becoming a portal of abundance for your family, your lineage, your community. You are a walking reminder that it's possible, that wealth is not a betrayal of your values, but an extension of them. That prosperity is not selfish. It is sacred. You no longer dream small, just to stay relatable. You are allowing your life to reflect the size of your soul. You are saying yes to expansion, yes to visibility, yes to being seen, known, and paid in full, because you've realized that playing small never served anyone. Your light does not dim others. It shows them what's possible. And so, the energy shifts again. Money is no longer just a goal. It is a result. The result of alignment, of self-trust, of clarity, of consistency. It's not about chasing a number. It's about embodying a frequency that turns ideas into income, that turns intentions into results. That turns your presence into profit. You're building something lasting now, something real. And every step you take is evidence of the truth. Money is no longer something you chase. It chases you. Because your value is not up for debate. Because your energy is priceless. Because your time is holy. And because your faith is unstoppable. There's a new posture you hold now, not of desperation, but of dominion. You're no longer looking outside of yourself for validation. You no longer feel the need to prove you're deserving. You know, and that knowing is louder than any doubt, stronger than any delay. This knowing changes the entire equation. It shifts your presence, your tone, your decisions. Because when you know, you stop negotiating with scarcity. You stop settling for less than what you're worth. You stop over-explaining your prices, your dreams, your timing. You stop seeking permission to live a life that was always meant for you. And when you do that, when you stand in your truth with unshakable conviction, money doesn't hesitate. It follows that energy. It finds its way to the ones who walk in authority. You're no longer afraid to be visible. You no longer fear being seen succeeding. You're done dimming your light to make others comfortable. Now, you rise, because the real ones won't be intimidated by your glow. They'll be inspired, and those who can't handle it, they were never meant to walk this next chapter with you. You are now called to lead by example. You are the blueprint. You are what abundance looks like in human form. This path isn't about vanity, it's about vibrational integrity. You're aligning every area of your life with wealth, your thoughts, your language, your routines. You are removing what drains you and replacing it with what energizes you. You're no longer clinging to what's familiar. You're holding space for what's expansive. You don't do chaos anymore. You don't do confusion. You don't do scarcity loops masked as hustle culture. That was a chapter, not your destiny. Money now flows where peace lives, and you've become a sanctuary, a space of safety, a space of knowing, a space of divine reception. And in that space, miracles become normal. Provision becomes predictable. Breakthroughs become expected. You stop reacting, and you begin to respond, with poise, with clarity, with presence. You're not forcing anything. You're aligning. You're not begging the universe. You're co-creating with it. You've stepped out of lack and into law. Universal law, the law of cause and effect, of resonance, of overflow. And now, money flows to you because you are in tune with the deeper currents, the invisible threads that govern this reality. The secret? You no longer try to earn worth. You've realized you already are worthy. And when you embody worthiness, you stop chasing, because everything is already chasing you. Clients, deals, inspiration, solutions, resources, connections. They are on their way because you are now a match to the frequency of fulfillment. Now, you no longer ask, how can I get more? You ask, how can I grow more? How can I serve more? How can I stretch into the next level of myself and trust that the money will mirror that? And it does, every time, without fail. Because the wealth you're stepping into now isn't loud. It's not performative. It's deeply rooted. It's quiet confidence. It's silent power. It's being so aligned, so grounded, so certain, that even when the world wobbles, you don't. You remain unmoved, unbothered, because your foundation is internal, not external. You no longer panic in times of uncertainty. You've trained yourself to pause, to breathe, to observe, to respond from presence rather than react from fear. That is true wealth. Emotional regulation, clarity in the storm, wisdom when the path is unclear, the ability to move slow and still win fast. And because of that, you've become immune to manipulation. You're not drawn in by every shiny promise, every shortcut, every fear-based offer. You've developed discernment. You trust your gut. You know that not everything that glitters is gold. And more importantly, you know that your peace is more valuable than any deal. Money now moves through you, not just to you. You've become a portal for generational elevation. You think beyond the next month. You plan for decades. You don't just ask how you can earn. You ask how you can build systems, how you can create assets, how you can make your money work as hard for you as you once did for it. And the beauty of this new era? You're no longer obsessed with outcomes. You're obsessed with alignment. If it feels right, it is right. You don't chase results, you chase resonance. And because of that, the results come faster than ever before. Because you're not forcing them. You're becoming them. You've stopped operating from wounded energy. You don't chase validation. You don't prove yourself through productivity. You don't try to impress people who don't even understand your vision. You're done with that. You're here to be impactful, not impressive. You're here to be fulfilled, not exhausted. And the more aligned you become, the more magnetic you are. People feel it. They may not always be able to explain it, but they feel something when you walk into the room. It's your frequency. It speaks before you do. It draws in the right clients, the right partners, the right circumstances. Because wealth is not just a number. It's a presence. You've stopped asking if you're ready. You've stopped waiting for the perfect time. You've stopped outsourcing your confidence to external achievements. You've realized the most powerful thing you can do is decide. Decide you are worthy. Decide you are ready. Decide you are already enough. That decision, that shift, it unlocks more than hard work ever could. Because belief moves faster than strategy. Belief unlocks doors no degree ever will. Belief changes your chemistry, your posture, your energy. And once your energy changes, the world has no choice but to rearrange around you. You now move like someone who knows, not hopes, not wishes, knows. And that knowing is what money responds to. That knowing is what changes rooms, opens paths, bends timelines. You've become unstoppable. Not because you never fall, but because you always rise. And you rise with grace, with wisdom, with quiet fire in your soul. This is wealth from the inside out. This is the new era, the new standard. You're not chasing it, you are it. And everything that is meant for you, the wealth, the favor, the miracles, the overflow, it recognizes you now. It knows where to find you, because you finally stopped hiding. You've remembered who you are, and from that remembrance, you have become magnetic. The shift is permanent. The glow is real. The abundance is inevitable. You are now living in the embodiment of your higher self, not as a distant version of you that you hope to become someday, but as the person you've already grown into, right here, right now. There is no gap anymore between who you are and who you're becoming. You have bridged that space with action, belief, and identity. And now the world is reflecting it back in every form, including money. Money is not coming to you because you are lucky. It's coming because you are aligned, because you are finally a match for the frequency you used to admire from a distance. You've stopped romanticizing success and started normalizing it. You've stopped idolizing other people's lifestyles and started building your own. You've released comparison. You've healed entitlement. And now you walk with the quiet authority of someone who knows they belong. You don't ask anymore, will it happen? You ask, what else is possible? That's the mark of someone who has shifted from waiting to creating, from doubt to dominion, from hustle to embodiment. You are no longer trying to reach a mountain. You've become the mountain. And people feel it when they meet you. The room quiets. The energy adjusts. People listen when you speak, because you speak from power, not performance. You don't need to raise your voice to raise your value. You don't need to sell yourself to be chosen. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You've released those illusions. You've chosen ease, elegance, excellence, not exhaustion. This is your new default. Abundance with peace. Expansion with balance. Impact without burnout. You don't compromise anymore. You don't self-sabotage just to feel safe. You don't choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth. You've outgrown the comfort zone. Now your comfort lives in expansion. Your peace lives in growth. You are clear now. Money doesn't change who you are. It reveals you. It amplifies your essence. And because your essence is pure, your money flows with purpose. You don't hoard. You circulate. You don't flaunt. You steward. You don't chase. You receive. That's the difference between manipulation and magnetism. One takes, the other invites. You've become a walking invitation for miracles. Your lifestyle is an example. Your posture is a message. You don't need a platform to lead. Your energy leads. You don't need millions to feel rich. You've mastered the mindset first. You understand that it's not about getting more. It's about becoming more. And when you become more, the universe has no choice but to respond accordingly. Every day now is proof. Proof that you've shifted timelines, that you no longer live in the same energetic zip code you used to, that your prayers were not just heard, they were answered through you. You became the miracle. You stopped waiting for rescue and became your own liberation. You stopped waiting for a sign and became the signal. And that's why money finds you. Not because you scream for it, because you radiate it. You carry the vibration of, I am ready. And when the universe meets that vibration, it delivers. But here's the secret. You don't need to be perfectly ready. You just need to be available, open, receptive, willing. That's what you are now. Available to receive, available to grow, available to stretch. And that availability unlocks more than effort ever could. Because the universe doesn't reward struggle, it rewards surrender. Now you live by different rules. Old rules said, work harder. New rules say, work wiser. Old rules said, stay safe. New rules say, take the leap. Old rules said, wait your turn. New rules say, create your lane. And you've done exactly that. You didn't wait for someone to open the door. You became the door. That's what people see now. Not just your success, but your permission. You give others permission to shine, to rise, to live fully. Because your glow is not a threat, it's a torch, and others can light their flame from it without dimming yours. That's legacy. That's leadership. That's true wealth. You are not just here to break cycles. You are here to start movements. You are not just here to heal. You are here to lead. You are not just here to get by. You are here to thrive, to build, to overflow. And from that overflow, you will fund visions, empower dreams, and shift generations. Money is now a reflection of your responsibility, not your desperation. It's a mirror of how deeply you've trusted yourself to rise. You no longer flinch at challenges. You face them with clarity. You no longer fall apart under pressure. You expand under it. Because pressure is what reveals the diamond. And you've already been through the fire. Now the fire refines you, not consumes you. Now the fire purifies your focus. You're not distracted anymore. You're dialed in. You're not moved by noise. You're moved by purpose. You don't get discouraged by silence. You understand that silence is sacred space for breakthroughs to build. And in that stillness, you've learned to listen to your intuition, to your body, to the whispers of the divine. That's where your wealth comes from now. Not from effort alone, but from energetic listening, from trust, from the divine timing that never misses, even when it feels like it's late. You no longer look around to see what others are doing. You look within and ask, what do I know is mine? And then you move from that place of internal certainty, that place of unshakable knowing. That's why you win now. That's why the money comes, because you've finally remembered the truth. You don't chase what already belongs to you. You are now in full alignment with your receiving season. You've done the inner work. You've dismantled the narratives that kept you small. You've unlearned the rules that told you success had to hurt. You've healed the part of you that used to fear abundance. And now you welcome it with open hands, open heart, open spirit. Money doesn't intimidate you anymore. It doesn't define you. It flows through you with ease because you've removed the resistance. You no longer hold fear in your energy field. You hold truth, calm truth, grounded truth, wealthy truth. You've become a safe container for success because your identity can finally sustain the blessings meant for you. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is reality for the chosen ones, those who dared to remember their worth, those who refused to stay in cycles of lack, those who looked in the mirror and said, I am no longer available for poverty in my mindset, in my relationships, in my energy, in my finances. You are no longer available for struggle as your normal. You are no longer available for suffering as your storyline. You've chosen ease. You've chosen depth. You've chosen truth. And now everything must reflect that choice, including your bank account. People will look at you and wonder how it happened, how you went from overlooked to undeniable, from barely getting by to magnetizing everything you need and more. But what they won't see is the inner shift. The moment you chose to trust, the moment you stopped hustling for scraps and started aligning with legacy, that was the shift. That was the activation. That was the moment the universe leaned in and said, now you're ready. And now you walk differently. You no longer run after crumbs. You sit at tables you once only dreamed of. Or you build your own, and others come to sit with you. Because the energy has flipped. The roles have reversed. You are not the seeker anymore. You are the source of solutions, the source of stability, the source of inspired leadership. You no longer ask, can I afford this? You ask, is this aligned with my vision? You don't make decisions from fear anymore. You make them from clarity, from knowing, from the solid truth that money is no longer scarce, because your mindset isn't. You've dismantled scarcity at the root. You've cut the cords that tied you to financial trauma. You've forgiven the version of you who was afraid. You've released the idea that you have to prove anything to anyone. And now you walk in peace. Peace is your wealth. It's your signal. It's your foundation. You don't trade peace for temporary gain. You don't compromise peace to look successful. You let success come as a result of peace. Because when you're peaceful, you're powerful. You think clearly. You attract cleanly. You lead with grace. Now you are abundant, not just in things, but in being, in self-trust, in emotional intelligence, in discernment, in presence. You are not just attracting what you want. You are embodying who you need to be in order to receive it and hold it. That's why the floodgates are opening now. That's why it's all coming at once, because you are finally capable of holding the weight of your own vision. The universe doesn't withhold. It waits for alignment, and you are aligned. So the money comes, and it doesn't stop, not because of luck, not because you forced it, but because you became it. You became the wealth. You became the frequency. You became the authority. You became the answer. And now, everything responds to you differently, because you respond to yourself differently. You no longer abandon yourself for comfort. You no longer silence your intuition to be liked. You no longer water yourself down to fit in. You rise, fully, powerfully, quietly, without apology. You are no longer chasing money, because you've become the magnet. And now, it's running to you in ways that feel natural, unexpected, effortless. But make no mistake, this ease was earned, not through grind, but through growth, through shedding what you're not and remembering what you are. And you are powerful, you are radiant, you are magnetic, you are chosen. The world is catching up to who you've always been. And from here on, nothing will be the same. The shift is permanent. The alignment is sealed. The overflow is here. There is something sacred about this moment. This isn't just a message anymore. It's an initiation. What you've heard isn't meant to be inspiration you consume and forget. It's meant to be a new blueprint for your existence. Something you carry in your cells, in your steps, in your decisions. From now on, every choice you make confirms the truth. You are no longer available for lack, in any form. You see it now, how it was never just about money. It was about energy, about the way you saw yourself, the way you allowed the world to treat you, the way you settled for less than your soul was screaming for. And the moment you shifted inward, everything began to shift outward. You didn't just raise your standards, you became the standard. This is what happens when the chosen one wakes up. You stop leaking power. You stop bleeding energy. You reclaim the authority you gave away in moments of fear. You stop asking, "What if it doesn't work?" and start asking, "What if it works better than I imagined?" You don't play small anymore because you've realized that playing small is not humility, it's self-abandonment. Now every breath you take is a declaration. I am ready. I am ready for the overflow. I am ready for the kind of abundance that feels calm, not chaotic. I am ready for alignment that doesn't come with confusion. I am ready to receive without guilt, to rise without apology, to own my presence without shrinking. The more grounded you become, the faster things come to you. Why? Because the universe doesn't delay. We do. We delay by doubting, by hesitating, by overthinking the blessings we already feel are ours. But now, you don't delay. You decide. You declare. You move. Your decisions carry weight now. Your yes has energy. Your no has boundaries. And that clarity makes space for money to arrive with precision. You're no longer lost in the fog. You've stepped into vision. And when you have vision, the path rises to meet your feet. You've become deeply magnetic, not because you're doing more, but because you're being more of your true self, being more honest, more present, more receptive. You finally accepted that you don't have to earn what is already meant for you. You simply have to receive it, fully, freely, without shame. No more explaining, no more defending, no more waiting for others to understand. The results will speak, the energy will speak, the fruit will speak, and it will be undeniable, not because of force, but because of flow. You are becoming more than you hoped, not because you chased something outside of you, but because you activated what was already in you. You've remembered the truth. The universe doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to power. And your power is clean now. Clear, director, steady. Money finds safety in your hands now. Not because of how loud you are, but because of how anchored you are. You don't react to every fluctuation. You don't spiral when things shift. You hold steady. And because you hold steady, the current adjusts to your calm. This is your new normal. Peaceful expansion. Grounded prosperity. Magnetic abundance. Not the kind that burns you out or distracts you. The kind that roots you deeper into purpose. You give without fear. You receive without guilt. You speak with softness and strength. You lead without ego. You move with grace. And as you continue on this path, the evidence will multiply. Not just in money, but in moments, in peace, in ease, in alignment, in the clarity that shows up before the opportunity, in the silence that births the solution, in the people who now orbit you, not because they need something, but because they feel safe in your frequency. You've become a lighthouse, a signal, a reminder that wealth is not for the few, it's for the willing, a reminder that divine favor is not a lottery, it's a law, a reminder that you don't need to chase something you were born to carry. And you carry it well now. No more detours, no more delays, no more proving, just presence. And in that presence, everything you once ran after now runs toward you. Because the shift wasn't out there. Welcome to the era where money chases you. Because you finally remembered you were never meant to chase anything. You were born to attract everything. It was always in you,